Attention, light workers. Attention, root workers. Attention, conjure doctors. Attention, nature-based faith practitioners. Attention, spiritualists. Attention, diviners. Attention, prophets. Attention, the spiritually eclectic. Attention for those seeking the road less traveled. This is time-sensitive cosmic information, so you might want to catch this. This is time-sensitive cosmic information that you can use in your prayers, manifestations, and other spirit works. Beam up now via this video or the audio link in this video's description box to get this on the fly esoteric wisdom. Beaming up now. Ashe emojibatu alodumare bobo egungun ara orun bobo orisha, for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm Ayansa JT Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekule. How is everyone doing this evening? My goodness, I hope you all feel as amazing as I do. It's 19 minutes past your 9 o'clock hour Central Standard Time, and it is time for your nightly mystic forecast, or 6 a.m. for all of you early birds that's going to be catching this on the Wednesday rising. I am Ayansa J. Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the music, the mystics, and the mojo on 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio. For the road less traveled. I'm broadcasting live from 7 portals. That is my Twitter. Follow there if you aren't already, my YouTube. So if you aren't already following me on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Like, share, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every time this time-sensitive information comes on, because your nightly mystic forecast is like an everyday weather forecast, and you want to catch that on time, especially when you're finding out what's going on in the quasars to align it with what's going on with your personal spiritual ascensions. The YouTube also features sneak peeks of what I got going on in my exclusive orbit, but we'll talk more about that later. I am broadcasting from 3 Facebook pages: the Ayansa J Muse Facebook page, the 222.9 The Mothership Facebook page, and my Windsdaily only spot, the Malbic Planetarium, where we discuss astrology secrets. Oh, yes. And my Windsdaily Facebook is complete with my matching Windsdaily Instagram, 2229 Wednesdays. So we're keeping this orbit going. Trust me, there's a method to my madness. And of course, portal number 7 is cruising over the airwaves of 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, where you are jamming to the sounds of Kool and the Gang. Summer madness, even though we're in the middle of autumn equinox. Speaking of 7s, oh my God, I am so excited because we are 7 TOOLSDAYS away from KWANZAA UMOJA. And I'm preparing for this holiday early because moment of truth, moment of confession. I am in love with the KWANZAA holiday. I really, really am. So everybody else is setting up their Christmas trees and getting them turkeys plucked and all that jazz. I'm at home setting up my KWANZAA altar with the 7 candles, with the Nguzo Saba. And I wrote a new book called KWANZAA Aligned. It's called KWANZAA in Orbit, KWANZAA Beamed Up. As a matter of fact, the book is finished, so I have to show it to you. Oh my God, I am so excited. And I'm going to read something to you from it later on in tonight's broadcast. But this is a guide through the Nguzo Saba ceremonies using astrology, numerology, candle and color vibrations, herbal elixirs, biblical scriptures, healing stones, meditations on the Orisha, original poetry, and commentaries. And I got to show you something I really, really love about my newborn book. It is 222 pages. I can't make this up. 222 pages. So you got 222 pages coming up for you, all in greatness to Kwanzaa, how to align with it, and how to keep its principles year round. So I just had to drop the dime on that real quick. This is the reason why I have been missing quite a few forecasts last week, because I was in creative labor. And when the creative waters break, baby, the baby does not wait. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. So here is the creative baby I was birthing. Kwanzaa in orbit, Kwanzaa beamed up. And make sure y'all stay tuned and aligned for everything that's going to be going on this year for the Kwanzaa with Iyanza jam sessions. Oh, yes. Kwanzaa with Iyanza is loading. It is Tuesday, speaking of sevens again, and seven is the number sacred to the Orisha Ogun, and this is his ruling day. Mars rule takes action, and boy, I got up and hit the ground running today. But we got honey all in the road today, so make sure you go get a little bit of it. And why do I say that? It's the 14th of November that's winding down before we get to Wednesday's forecast, and it vibrates on a 14-5. Five is the number of Oshun, and we all know the story about how she coated her body in honey to make him chase her back into civilization. I wonder what sweet things are chasing or making you run back into civilization and return you to your love for the people, for the community, and for the universal whole. Think about it. It's the 8th Tuesday of autumn equinox and the 4th and last of Scorpio season. The moon tonight is waxing fresh off the new moon in the ninth house of Sagittarius. So you got about 2 hours and some change to work all that out before Ogun passes a time clock to Oya and Mars's action shifts into Mercury and Uranus's communication with the heavens. If you've been kicking it on the mothership all day, you've been listening to the divine masculine fathers of song. But starting out at 12 a.m., we had some heart chakra sleep meditation. So you get to align your heart chakra in your sleep and wake up to the forecast. That's why I say your 6 a.m. listeners. And then we had the divine masculine father's groove all day long. And I gotta tell you, my Tuesday rotation is lit. Remember, 222.9 the mothership is not just this thing you see on the orbit at 12 a.m. for 10 minutes and the forecast at 9. Oh no, honey. This is a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week groove. All brought to you by one woman and one woman only, with the help of the spirits, of course, Ayansa J. Muse. But for Wednesdays, we will be jamming out to the exotic mothers of song. At 12 a.m., we will be having the third eye sleep meditation. And then from there, we have the rising Bimbe to Oya and the exotic old school mothers of groove all day long. That is until you get back to your mystic forecast with yours truly. I'm going to let you check it out. I'm Ayansa J. Muse, and this is your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. Mystic Forecast on Radio for the Road Less Traveled, 222.9. The Mothership. Beam up. Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples, Ibashe Oya, Ibashe Nanaburuku, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership, 222.9. Beam up. And we're back. So, in case you're just now joining us, I'm Ayansa J. Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you your 6 a.m. or your 9 p.m. mystic forecast so that you can align yourself with what's going on in the quasars. We are 29 days away from the last Mercury retrograde of 2023. So, heads up, Geminis and Virgos, your planet's about to start busting the moonwalk. We are at the Wednesday, day 3 of the week, the day that the Most High created the planets and the stars and the solar systems, according to the book of Genesis, and said, "Let these be for watching for signs, watching for prophecies, communicating with the heavens." So, all of you butt tight, you religious folks that think astrology is a sin, think again, because everything God created is divine. It's our own intentions that determine whether or not they are or aren't unholy. Yes, I said that. Ibashe Ojoriru, that's the day of confusion in the Yoruba day, the Yoruba days of the week. And the days of confusion might be because in many Orisha traditions, Wednesday is the day sacred to the Orisha Oya. And other lineages, Wednesdays are sacred to the Egu. Either way, those energies tend to stir things up. And confusion comes about when I'll say Aishu likes to present certain crossroads in life that make us choose between who we are, who we were, make us choose between our flesh and our spirit, make us choose between honoring our Ori and being a people pleaser, and all those good things in between. So, yes, I said good things because confusion does not have to be a bad thing when you allow yourself to embrace them from a spiritual standpoint. Ashe? Ashe. So let's talk about this Wednesday in particular, November 15th. And I keep seeing this. The daily numerology keeps lining up with the day of the week. I'm going to make a post about that in a minute. For example, 11.15.2023 adds up to a 15-6. And 6 is the number sacred to Shango, 6 and 9. And who is Oya to Shango? Only his favorite wife. So Shango and Oya hit another climax at the week's climatic point. And who doesn't love a good climax, spiritual or physical alike? Third eyes over sacrals, everybody. We talking about the quasars. It is the 8th Wednesday of autumn equinox and the 4th of Scorpio season. And the moon, Wednesday night, is waxing. Still in Sagittarius, house 9. What is Oya's number? 9. Don't you love the alignment? The arrows bring about Ochosi's energy, so dare to aim high from a spiritual standpoint. Because many of us aren't manifesting what we could be manifesting simply because we don't allow ourselves to believe we can have it. Allow yourself to manifest everything that you know you deserve, as long as you're not doing these things at the expenses of others. Because when you walk in Iwa, you become an asset to the spirit realm. And if us little mere ant human beings are smart enough to protect our assets, what should make us think that the spirits, that the heavens, aren't serious about protecting their assets too? Just something to think about. If you were born on this day, November 15th, happy solar return. And may the ancestors, Olodumare, the Orisha, bless you with many, many more, filled with Bobo Ire. And what does that mean? Many blessings. So, still going to do a little bit of zodiac draw snitching on you. So, if you were born on November 15th, you are persevering, patient, and attentive. You like detail, and you have considerable originality. You are practical and not in the least bit subject to flattery. Sounds like somebody that can be my friend because I watch too much flattery. There's nothing wrong with accepting compliments as a form of balancing your confidence, but on the other side of that imbalance, just keep in mind that too much flattery can make you drop your grapes. Anyway, you are quiet and well self contained, and you enjoy the company of your own sex, like the outside. whatever that means. You like the great outdoors, and you are the favorite in all of your social circles. Sounds like a good person to have around if you were born on November 15th. And those of you that are in the other 11 zodiac houses, you got a few more days because in 7 days from today, we will be coming out of our deep fixed waters of Scorpio and into the heavens, aiming high, being on fire from the inside in the mutable fire of Sagittarius. But while we're still in Scorpio season, let's make sure we show all of our Scorpio people some love as they turn up in their house season. Because y'all know good and darn well that when your zodiac season rolls around, you're going to want somebody to help you turn up too. And you should, because everybody's life is worth celebrating. So let's use astrology to be more united instead of using it as another tool for unnecessary division. Because all of us carry Scorpio energy, and you find out about the Scorpio in you by either studying your natal chart or booking a reading with your girl. Because I'm really good at astrology. Been doing it for the last 9 years professionally. I'm not even going to talk about it off the record because people have been coming to me since I was 16, sweetheart. So I love to help people understand the changes that they're going through in their lives and maybe even instigate them. What can I say? I'm a daughter of Oya, and that's what we do, create a stir. Don't worry about it. We are 29 days away from the last Mercury retrograde of 2023. So, Geminis and Virgos, check up. Wednesdays are the turn up days for Geminis, Virgos, and Aquarius, has come to think of it, because Mercury and Uranus rule the day Wednesday. Maybe that's why it's such a climatic point, because that's when Eshu starts talking again, only this time to the heavens. And why do I say that? Because Mercury in the Roman pantheon is the avatar of the messenger of the gods, but the original messenger is Eshu. So Mercury is just one of Eshu's masks. You know what I mean? Anywho, we are still in Neptune retrograde. We went in on June 30th. We'll be coming out December 6th in the house of Pisces. And if you are a Pisces, this retrograde is going to affect you more than it will the other 11 houses because it's your house. And this is a strong retrograde because Neptune is retrograding in her own house. And this is a energy that relates more to Olokun and Yamanja energy, dealing with dreams, dealing with divine compassion, divine love, ideals, spirituality, the intuition, all of those things. Okay. And with this planet going into retrograde, you want to be able to focus on the difference between a download and delusionism. You want to stay grounded in what you already have so that the downloads you receive can be manifested through what's already in your hand. I already made a mention of embracing confusion because it helps you sort out who you are from who you were, your spirit from your ego, your honoring your Ori and being a people pleaser. Neptune is going to bring about a lot of those energies that are going to have you get more aligned with your spiritual self. But for Pisces people, because they're ruled by this planet, this will affect you more than it will the other 11 houses. Ashe. Okay, so Uranus is still in retrograde, Ibashe Oya. That's the planet of intuitions, shakeups, and sudden changes. We know Oya is big on sudden changes, don't we? This retrograde will affect people in the house of Aquarius more than it will the other 11 houses because it's your ruling planet. And like Neptune, Uranus retrograde is very, very strong as well because it's retrograding in its own strongest house, Aquarius, the house of knowing. So when Uranus is in retrograde, and we may as well get comfortable here, kids, because we're going to be in this retrograde until January 27th of next year. So all y'all is going to be stirring things up in your world that make you challenge what you really believe in. Are you really living what you're saying you believe? Or is your faith or your connection with the divine kind of a pocket wrench as you go live for the world? Well, that's between you and your maker. But this is a really interesting opposition in retrograde energies. Granted that we're shifting from the Piscean age of belief, and Pisces' ruling planet is in retrograde, and the Aquarian age of knowing. Aquarius's planet is in retrograde too. So everybody, this is the time to be completely honest about what you believe, how you believe it, and how you will go about living. Because you see the heavens, the divine, God, Goddess, Allah, Olodumare, whatever name we use to call that absolute, doesn't need you to be perfect. The divine needs you to be honest. And the spirit world can work miracles from there. Ashe. All right, third planet in retrograde is Jupiter. Ibashe Shango Kabiezio Baba Mi. The heat planet of expansion, masculine expansion, planet of good luck. And this retrograde is going to affect Sagittariuses and Pisces more than it will the other 11 houses, you lucky dogs, because this planet went into retrograde on the 4th of September, will be coming out on the 3rd of December in the house of Taurus. And Taurus is about bringing in those values, bringing in that wealth, bringing in that abundance. So if you've been sowing good seeds of karma, be prepared for this Jupiter's retrograde to bring you back a lovely, amazing harvest. But you will have to reassess your habits because a higher level of living will require a higher level of you. So the thing to keep in mind when Jupiter is in retrograde is that changes for the better and changes for the worse are both uncomfortable because they both take you out of your comfort zone. So disrespect the hell out of your comfort zone for all the best reasons. I'm Ayansa J. Muse. This is your nightly or 6 a.m. Mystic Forecast. And when I come back, we are going to get to your nightly tarot draw brought to you by my favorite one in my entire collection, the Mayan Oracle. Beam up. All this spiritual stuff. You need somebody to just make it plain. Are you trying to divinely align? Are you a starseed? Are you too busy building the kingdom, building the queendom to come for all the madness going on in the world today? Methods of emotional healing? Are you taking your first steps down your spiritual path? Want a more practical understanding of the Orisha? Do animals seem to communicate with you? Do you need to sort out some things about love? Do you see numbers? Spiritual signs? Need somebody to just make it plain? Does your love for esoteric wisdom coin you a student of life? Do you like wisdom in poetic bars? Are you ready to debunk the spookism behind ancestor veneration? Want to learn how to make medicine? Want to learn about different tools of divination? Tantric spiritual sex secrets? Ways to utilize each and every moon? Do you walk the road less traveled? Are you considered strange by society? Are you discovering your spiritual gifts? Do you want to taste the power of words through incantation? Do you want to get into some unorthodox Bible teachings? Do you dream often? Do you long to explore the secrets of the earth's endless mysteries? Do you study the stars? Do you need tips on building good character? Do you want to know more about how to interpret dreams? Do you love some good literature? Need somebody to just make it plain? Then indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. The art of spirituality in Ayansa J. Muse's Orbit. Ayansa J. Muse's Orbit is a monthly subscription service that features free and exclusive content dedicated to your versatile, well-rounded, deeper understanding of spirituality. It comes from all angles, teaches all kinds of lessons, and it cooks like a gumbo, a whole bunch of different spiritual ingredients and one spiritually flavorful soup. And let that soup feed your soul and enhance your highest spiritual life. It even features an opportunity to have a one-on-one counseling session with yours truly. So don't get left behind. Get beamed up to the orbit All proceeds go to 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio. Sign up for the 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio email list to stay in the exclusive loop of what's going on in the orbit. Ashe. In Ayansa J. Muse's orbit. High-level spiritual wisdom. Fully flavored with no holds barred. And we're back. So, those of you that are listening on the Mothership's airwaves, then you can just kind of meditate and imagine what the cards look like. Those of you that are watching from my Instagram, same thing. Those of you that are watching from Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook are looking at the number 3, rhythm. That's the card that showed up tonight, just a simple rhythm. Funny that's at the Eshu's crossroad, number 3. And the avatar Mercury is over the day of Wednesday. And so the heavens are calling us to surrender to our natural flow while focusing our energies if we're too scatterbrained. This is a very good energy to receive tonight, because this means that many of you are receiving more, downloads than you may know what to do with at the time. Pens and paper are your friend as you surrender to your natural flow. And when you surrender to your natural flow, that's when you're recollecting your memory, and you're allowing yourself to unlearn what you need to unlearn to make room for what you do need to learn. Surrendering to your rhythm is a lot like a river of not just Oshun, but this time of Oya. Because while Oya is popular for being the Orisha of the wind, Oya is also an Orisha of the river. And rivers have a rhythm, yet they still maintain a consistent flow. So rhythm is calling you to lose some pliable, not worry about so much. Work with what you got, because we can't be so practical that we don't give the spirit world room to bob and weave. So I'm going to flip the deck to ask for more information about this rhythm. And we got a Starglyph head card, the ebb, as in ebb and flow. And this is card 12 of the Starglyphs. So this is 3 multiplied by 4, and 4 goes in all 4 directions: north, south, east, west. So all the way across the board in your life, make room for more fun, because abundance isn't always about material wealth. Abundance is about joy, about peace, about happiness, about having what you need inside and out. And you do that by allowing yourself to empty out. Be a vessel. Pour out what you already got so you can constantly be refilled with something new. And that's the essence of Scorpio season as well, clearing out those murky waters so that the fresh, clear waters can come rushing in. And life being in the state of constant movement and the eternal now, you can't help but empty out the bottom of that cup. Because as soon as you pour out what you got for everybody else, the universe will pour more in for you. And that's my tarot message for the evening, for the general, for the collective. Should you need a personal reading, then visit the link in my description box in the comment section. Those of you that are watching this from Instagram, hit the link in my profile to get access to the entire Ayansa J. Muse orbit. I'm Ayansa J. Muse. This is your 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. Mystic Forecast on 222.9 The Mothership, Internet Radio for the road less traveled. Ashe. A question on the heart is the spirit's thirst for clarity. Readings, consultations, I call them intuitive counseling sessions, but you know what I mean. They're kind of like gumbo or peach cobbler. You may have tried many, but you haven't had mine. I can say I met the divine when I was about 9. Ever since I was 16, I found myself wondering, do I have an invisible "please come tell me your business" sign taped to my forehead? Then one day I was sitting at the bus stop at a crossroad, And I had the audacity to ask the God, ask the goddess, why was I even sent to earth? And I became an ethereal, intuitive counselor. And the universe has been answering that question over and over again, one phone call at a time, for the last 9 years. From there, in between sessions, I began to relentlessly apply, align, and study the ways of the stars and of the ancients. 3 years in, Orisha priestesshood to Oya came knocking. Hence the Iya in the name Iyansa, Iyansa, an Oya praise name. Oya is the Orisha who brings radical transformation and change. Make no mistake about it now, baby. I am no soothsayer. I am no fortune teller. I'm not a private investigator. I don't cast love spells. I'm not an emotional punching bag. I'm not a spiritual trash dump. I am not a haven for jinn spirits. I give guidance with clarity, with wisdom, with love, with truth. I unlock keys to your spiritual growth and your highest destiny according to your unique design. Ready for some evolutionary change? Let's talk. And that concludes our forecast for tonight, or for this 6 a.m. rising. But I got a few minutes, so I gotta share with y'all just an excerpt from the KWANZAA in Orbit, KWANZAA Beamed Up book that I just published this year to align the Nguzo Saba with all the mystics, Orisha wisdom, numerology, astrology commentaries. So this is a commentary from the chapter of UMOJA, because UMOJA is coming on a Tuesday this year. So December 26th falls on a Tuesday. KWANZAA begins on Ogun's Day. And this is a commentary that I wrote about the Million Man March. Check it out. Pataki, the Million Man March. Monday, October 16th, 1995. Moon waning in Cancer. I was 11 years old, glued to my TV screen. It was one of those old school TVs with the wood grain, like a piece of furniture. I had never seen anything like this before. It was a huge river of black men on my TV screen, all walking, walking in the same direction. And I imagined, how many of them were Christians? How many were NOI? How many weren't sure if they even believed in God at all? How many of these men were married? How many were single? How many were players? Yeah, I was old enough to know about players. How many of them were rich? How many of them were middle class? How many of them were poor? Knowing now what I didn't know then, how many of them were wearing leques under their suits? None of those questions really mattered as much as what I was seeing in the moment. It was a direct contradiction to all the division I saw in black men all the time on my TV screen. You know, the buppies versus the thugs, the ridicule of one another's faiths, the punks versus the cool guys. In this moment, the TV didn't fail me for once. These black men were all marching in the same direction. These black men were all marching for the same cause. They were unified. And I thought to myself, how can we stay like that every day? Initially, unifying by dividing sounds like an oxymoron. In terms of spirit, not so much. Unifying by dividing can create a great strength when it comes to the many paths of God. Cards on the table. It is flat out spiritual war out here. And a major factor in spiritual opposition are those who may feel their spiritual convictions grant the right to judge, ridicule, intimidate, and shame others for not following their same faith. It's truly unfair and way out of line to try to control what someone chooses to believe. If God, Goddess, grants us all the free will to choose, then who are we to manipulate that choice? Black people are a mystery because we are the literal hybrids of humanity. Genetically, we are mixed with every other race on the planet. We never know which ancestral lineage of a person draws them to their faith of choice. The truth is that there are many paths to Olodumare, the Most High God Goddess. Trees should be judged by the fruit they bear, as opposed to the name that they call the god or goddess by, or the activities used to demonstrate the faith. You see, there is a secret of all secrets, and that secret is the Great Arcane. And the Great Arcane speaks that all faiths are but pearls and diamonds on the same string of divinity. We merely have different practices of the same higher truth. All of the Bible stories, Quran teachings, Ifa Pata keys, and all other sacred texts are designed to give a human understanding to aligning with divinity. One way or another, they teach the as above, so below concept. They teach the blessings of spiritual ascension as well as the consequences of carnal living. And if we believe in different ways to God and Goddess, then let's peacefully divide there. It creates a more unified strength in both God, Goddess, and our natural divinity. And when we choose to live and let live, we allow one another to vibrate at their highest self, according to their unique design and divine calling. So whether we walk by faith in the way of Ifa Orisha, NOI, Christianity, the Catholic way, Buddhism, or any other walk of righteousness, we know that true unity lies in knowing that we are all serving the same amazing God. We can then create unity on that collective frequency. Very powerful. And this is how we evoke the KWANZAA principle UMOJA in the face of the great divide. Thank you for letting me share that piece of information. I will be sharing a piece of Kujichakulia tomorrow, as we will be 7 Wednesdays away from Kujichakulia. If you're listening at 9 p.m., stay tuned for my Tuesday nightly vision of what love looks like, brought to you by the Divine Fathers. And who, there's nothing like when a good man sang to you, Lord have mercy. And when you tune in at 6 a.m., stay tuned for the Rising Bembe to Oya before we get to your exotic divine feminine mothers of song jam session all day long. Either way, remember, the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of George Clinton, free your mind. Your ass will follow. I'm my Auntie J Muse, and you are listening to Radio for the Road Less Traveled. 222.9. The Mothership. Beam up. Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your Mystic Music Haven on the airwaves. 222.9. The Mothership. Beam up.